Welcome to the Arsenal Show. We are live, and it's time to talk about what is possibly one of the greatest moments in Emirates Stadium history so far. Arsenal's 3-2 comeback against Bournemouth. What a game it was. The emotions were running high yesterday. First half, absolutely awful. Did not know what was going on. 9 seconds Arsenal conceding. Absolutely terrible. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over some of the player ratings, and we're going to talk about Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson is being offered, Arsenal and Edu Gaspar are set to sit down with Reiss Nelson to have talks over a new deal before the end of the season. We're going to discuss that quickly, but we're going to discuss it more in detail on Tuesday as well. So, first of all, 9 seconds in, heart sunk. I hadn't even sat down properly. Do you know what I mean? I got a message I saw a message from someone else that said Arsenal down 15 seconds in. I hadn't even, I've just turned around, just come back in from grabbing a cup of tea, bang, 1-0 down. Couldn't believe it. Terrible defending. Zinchenko out of position. It's clearly something that Bournemouth have worked on. They got down the wing, cut it back, and it was a good goal. But, I mean, the rest of it wasn't great after that. We made a tough time of really getting a grip on the game. There was no real fluidity throughout that first half. It was just, not good. Not good at all. And then it got worse. Just after half-time, you thought they was going to sort of get the hairdryer treatment from Mikel Arteta, and that it would change things, but it didn't. Bournemouth come back out, score that goal, and it was it was not looking good yesterday against bottom of the table. 60 minutes in, an hour in, and the 2-0 down. Absolutely just all over the place. Tomiyasu gets hooked at half-time. Not good. Is there a worry about Tomiyasu? I think it's more the fact that he's had no real consistency this season, which is why when he does seem to come in, he's not been at it. Although saying that, when he did come in against Liverpool early in the season after Ben White was playing and he came in on the left back, he had a good game against Liverpool. Maybe it has something to do with the World Cup. He seemed to beat himself up quite a bit about the World Cup. Maybe that has a part to play in the reason why Tomiyasu's form has not been great so far this season, or not this season. When he come on yesterday, it's been bitty this season, to say the least. But hopefully we'll pick it up. I'm guessing he'll probably start in the Europa League against Sporting Lisbon on Thursday. So we will see. But not good. Obviously, Zinchenko was out of position on that, and our 2 centre backs conceded 2 goals as well. But I think yesterday, taking out the negativities of the defending, which we're going to more on Tuesday, yesterday was just purely about the comeback. It was about the mentality. I saw someone say Arsenal are a mentality monster. We are now. When was the last time you could accuse Arsenal of being mentality monsters? That's what we are at the moment. Absolute beasts. Great finish. Lovely volleyed finish from Thomas Partey at the back post. Brilliant crossing. Back in it. Should we go over the penalty decisions? Should we go over the penalty decisions that we should have got? First of all, the first handball, where he's gone to header it, he's closed his eyes, and it's dropped onto his arm. Now, how is that not a penalty? How is that first one not a penalty? Okay. To the next one. I think it was the next one was Martin Odegaard's shot where it come off the defender, it hit his arm and then hit the post. How is that not a penalty? And the worst one of all, I'd probably say equally worse, because I think the one where it's hit his arm, where he's gone to head it, shut his eyes, and it's hit his arm, which is the most blatant penalty I've seen in a long while, is the one where they take out Tomiyasu in the first half. I think it's the first half. But the one they take out Tomiyasu. Like, how is that not a penalty? What are they playing at? It's so bad. And there's people out there that have the cheek to turn around and say that Arsenal's this Premier League's being rigged by the referees and the Premier League. What reason would they have to rig the Premier League for Arsenal? What reason would they have to rig the Premier League for Arsenal? There's no reason whatsoever. Terrible decision. Terrible decision. But what I wanted to come and discuss now is this one. Let's have a little discussion here. Arsenal to sit down with Reiss Nelson. So, yeah, news has come out on the Transfer Exchange show, the best place to go for the transfer news, especially when it comes to Arsenal, other clubs like Manchester City, Man United, pretty good as well. But yeah, we're going to pull up the piece over here. Arsenal set to sit down with Reiss Nelson to discuss a deal over a new contract. Let's just go to here. Boom. Yeah, there we go. So Arsenal sit down with Reiss Nelson at the end of the season to discuss his future at the club. We're going to the next bit in a second. I said this a long time ago. For me, Reiss Nelson needs to be at Arsenal. Ideally, long term. There's certain players that you give extra time for. That's Highland players that come through your youth rank. 100%, you give extra time. You give extra time in developing. You give extra time in maturing. You give them extra time. They have an understanding of the club that no one else will ever have. They've come through the system. They are a picture of progression for the youngsters who will use that as motivation, and it's something that's needed throughout the club. Here you go, Talking Ball fan. How you doing? Great stuff. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you very much. Yeah. What were the emotions you were feeling after yesterday's game? The final kick of the game. What a game! What a game! Oh yeah, and also, what are your thoughts on Reiss Nelson? Arsenal give him a new deal. So, hello, Steve.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good. So, yeah, Arsenal set to sit down with Reiss Nelson at the end of the season to discuss a new deal. West Ham and Crystal Palace have shown interest in the winger. Reiss Nelson does want to extend his contract, something that he stated on many occasions. Most recently, he stated that in an interview on Sky Sports, where he said he wanted to stay and discuss and spoke about how he's matured as a player, how he made mistakes before, how he rested on the fact that he was a talented player and understands now that he needs to do more than just his talent to be a top player at Arsenal or even stay at Arsenal. So, yeah. What are your thoughts, people? Let us know in the comments section. All right. So, how you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? I'm good. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon.
What were your feelings after yesterday's game?
They just can't keep doing this to us, can they? I mean, I was just still sort of stunned after like the first 9 seconds when they scored the goal. I thought I was in bed and I was waking up from a dream or something, and I think it took a little while for it to sink in that we was 1-0 down. And then we kept passing it about and we couldn't get going. And look, to be honest with you, they could have been 2. They could have been 3 up.
Great save from Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, I mean, absolute world class. I thought that was a goal. I thought that was in.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought it was in. And look, I felt we were struggling. I felt our build-up play was fine. I just thought like when we got into the penalty box, it was our shooting. It was off. Neto really never made any glaring saves. There was times when there was Odegaard had a shot, and it was poor. There was Saka had a shot and it was poor. I felt they should have scored. To be fair to Odegaard, his shot, Neto, I thought he got down quite well to it. So maybe that was a bit harsh on him. But Saka should have scored. It was just a 1-on-1, but we just could not get going.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half, well, I mean, that was incredible, mate. That was just.
Well, they scored first.
Yeah,
they scored 2-0, didn't they?
Yeah, that scored first, and there was obviously that it was bad defending as well. I think. I think Thomas Partey looked like to me that he let the guy go, and he just couldn't get back. But then, and he got his head in, and he scored a goal, and we switched off again.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people say, recently, there's been some very strange sort of versions of the match. It's strange how people to see different things, but It was. I thought it was poor defending, but then it just went mad after. Went crazy after that, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, it showed the what the team's made of. It's what champions do, and they came back, and it was probably one of the most incredible 40 minutes of football that I've actually watched Arsenal play. It was amazing, and to be there must have been incredible.
Yeah. There were a few people that left, but my mate, he was there. He said, "You can't leave it 2-2," and he's glad he didn't. Let's get to the player ratings. Aaron Ramsdale, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go to that save. I mean, it was a match-winning save, a title-winning save, if you like. Because if that went in, I don't know if we would have come back and won the game. So excellent save, good performance from Aaron Ramsdale. I think he also made another one as well during the game. So yeah, definitely 8 out of 10 for Aaron Ramsdale yesterday.
Ramsdale gets an 8. Gabriel showing his emotions at the end of the game in tears after Reece Nelson's winner.
Yeah, it just shows you the togetherness of the team, doesn't it? The emotions of them players at the end of that final whistle was. It just shows you how much they love the club and how much they're together. But on Gabriel's performance, I thought he was at fault for the goal. I thought he could have done better. He seemed to. It just seemed to go underneath him. He seemed to get caught. He seemed to have it was early and he wasn't switched on. And for me, he should have cleared that. I think he probably had plenty of time just to put in his foot and the ball, play it out. But going on from there, I thought he did. He thought he did really well. But yeah, I mean, it was a big mistake and it could have cost us big time. Seen some strange marks over the last 12 hours, but mine's probably going to differ because I'll just stick to what I think, and I'm going to give him a 6.
What are some of the strange marks you've seen?
Oh, 8s and 9s for certain players who would probably come to. But and there was some really strange 8 and 9s, to be honest. To be fair, but I was like, luckily I'm not one of these people who watches things and thinks, oh, did I see it differently? I stick, but yeah, very, very a little, probably a bit higher than what you would expect from me. Yeah, crazily higher.
Saliba.
Now, I thought Saliba was the better of the two. I mean, over the last few weeks, we've said that Gabriel's been the best out of the two, even though that doesn't mean that Saliba's played him bad. But I thought he was very assured yesterday, Saliba. I thought he was very, very solid. I don't remember him making mistakes. I've seen a few people say that people can't have given him lower marks because he let in 2 goals. Well, yes, we did let in 2 goals, but it wasn't his fault that the goals that went in, as far as I was concerned, anyway. So I don't see how you can mark down a defender for that if they've had a decent game and the goals was nothing to do with them. I find that a very, very strange way of looking at things. But I thought he was excellent. I thought he did well, yeah. Again, I give him. Oh, well, not again. I give him 7.
So it's a 7. Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I thought he had a bad game. I thought he was scruffy, sloppy with his passing. Crossing was poor, and it's no surprise for me that he got taken off. I thought just quickly while we're at Tomiyasu, I think Arteta got it wrong. I think he got I thought he got the team wrong. He obviously sorted that out afterwards, but the starting lineup, I think he got wrong. I was surprised at the starting lineup, and in the end, it sort of proved me right because of the changes that he made at half time. But no, he wasn't good. I was surprised that Tomiyasu was in, and very surprised that Ben White wasn't in. I would have thought you would have played Ben White from the start, and then maybe played Tomiyasu against Sporting. That would have been my thinking. But yeah, I think he made a bit of.
Maybe it's because he wanted to play Ben White against Sporting. Maybe he is taking this game.
Yeah, but then would he have played Ben White?
Squad.
Would he have then played Ben White against Fulham, which I would have definitely wanted him to play against Fulham. So
again, maybe his fault. Tomiyasu could play in these 2 games against a Fulham and a Bournemouth. Because if you look at it on paper, Fulham have had a good season, but Tomiyasu is more than capable. This is a player who was our right back last season and was lauded as one of our best signings last season. So maybe he's looked at these next 2 games in the league and thought, do you know what? We could actually put out a solid team against Sporting Lisbon here.
Yeah.
Rest here, rest there.
Yeah. But I think like after, I mean, we've played Bournemouth now. Everybody thought we was going to go and sort of give Bournemouth a little bit of an iron. I even said, I think I said 4-0. In the Arsenal show on Tuesday, I thought it was going to be an easy win. But it shows that these games ain't easy wins, and really we should know that. These games ain't ever going to be easy. No game's going to be easy. So I think I'm sticking on the lines of play your best team for your Premier League, play your so-called second team, which isn't really a second team because it's still a very strong side. I think we had 6-7 internationals on the bench yesterday. So and that's the way I would go forward. But I'm going to give Tomiyasu a 5.
Yeah, I've seen lower penalty decision.
The penalty decision for
where Tomiyasu got fouled in the box.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I thought. I mean, there was. I haven't seen that. Properly. I didn't have a great. Where I was watching it, wasn't fantastic.
Yeah.
It basically it looked to me, and then funny enough, my was watching it on switched off just as that, and I was like, oh, was that given a penalty? So I'm trying to rush back, get on. Was it a penalty? Was it a penalty? And then I see it wasn't. But from what I see, it looked like a penalty. You know,
Yeah.
it did look like a penalty. But I've only seen it once. But I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it was a clear penalty. It was a clear penalty. He's taking his feet out.
Yeah, I thought the other one was a clear penalty as well.
The handball, the first handball.
This one.
Where he goes to header it, he shuts his eyes and it lands on his arm. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
No more. I don't know what the rule is.
That is. But it infuriates me when they say deliberate handball. Do you know how many deliberate handballs there are in world football? There's hardly any. People that deliberately put their hand out to stop a handball. You're talking a Luis Suarez. If it's a deliberate handball, it's a straight red card. You've deliberately you're cheating. Yeah. When it's an accidental handball, they're penalties. I don't care about this accidental. It doesn't matter. You've gone to head the ball. You shut your eyes, and the ball's landed on your arm. That's a penalty. How is that not a penalty?
Let's say his arm was like this, wasn't it? So
his arm like that.
That's not natural. Like that. That's not natural.
Yeah, he's gone like that.
Yeah.
Now the other one, the billing one, the thing is,
he's a bit like
what I say about that, he's like that. That refs need to have a word with players in their hands because eventually I'm saying you need to start giving penalties for that because their players are being soft. They're putting their hands there to stop the ball from hitting their chest. Now, in first instinct, his hands are in his body, so you would have to say, okay, he's very close, his hands in his body, so it's just like hitting his chest, but it's not because your hands are deflecting it from a different direction as to what it would if it hits your chest. So players need to be told, maybe next season, before the season starts, if you continue to put your hands here in places where it still hits your hand, you will get a handball because it's still not natural to me. That's not natural. You've got to just take a ball on the chest. I'm sorry. Stop being a tart. Like, it's embarrassing. You're a 6'2" defender.
Yeah. See, I know a lot of people have been complaining about, the one where the guy slides and the hand's behind him and it hits his hand from behind, right? Now, we've played football. I've played it all my life, so have you, right? That's not an handball. That's not an handball because you can't mean to do that, can you? You can't.
What is that in general? Or is that the one from yesterday?
Do you know the ones where I think there was the West Ham one that time? Just a similar. There's been a few recently, and there was the Chelsea one, wasn't there, where the ball hits his hand when he goes out to tackle it, but misses the ball, and then the ball will hit the hand on the floor. The guy's laying on the floor, more or less.
No, but for me, that's a penalty. And do you know why I say it's a penalty? Because you're a defender and there is no need to go to ground like that. And if you go to ground, you're taking the risk because you do not need to put your hand out like that. We had one against Oxford, we got a fine for that for claiming that we should have got a penalty. Now there's defenders, and now what they're doing is they're changing the way they're diving.
Yeah, do you know what I was going to say that?
They're changing it. They've found a loophole. Football players have a lot of time on their hands, and they're not silly. They're a lot more intelligent than they come across. Yeah, and now 100%, putting more of their body out in that position when they're sliding to cover more ground, which means that it's deemed it's part of the slide. It's not, because most defenders don't slide like that. That's you're throwing your body on a landmine kind of slide. Yeah, you don't need to do that. Yeah, stand up. That's last ditch terrible defending. And if you do handball it, then I'm sorry, you're giving away a penalty because you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
if you
pull off a great tackle, isn't there?
Yeah, there's that possibility.
There's always that possibility that the player knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I can't. What you talking about? My hand was there, but
and that's the thing. What they're doing is they're sliding and they're putting their hands down there as well. When you slide, like, why are you doing that? There's no need to slide and do that. That you're making that's a great save. Like what? That's a great save. Like so
you'd know. Yeah, they've got to make it clearer.
They do.
They've got to make this clear at the big end of the season. What is handball and what isn't? We were supposed to be clear and obvious, and in an unnatural position.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have this rule where, because as you say, 9 times out of 10, players don't mean to handball it unless you're on the goal line and you decide to think, oh, better off rather get a penalty than a ball going in there.
And that's a red card. Yeah,
and that's a red
you
card.
Sent off. Yeah,
and that's you off. Nobody really is meaning to do it.
No, like if he goes to head that ball, shuts his eyes, it hits his arm, he doesn't even get a yellow card from me. It's just a penalty. It's just a penalty. It's just like it was a foul, no yellow card. It's a penalty. That's it.
I agree, mate.
Done. Thomas Partey.
Yeah, Thomas Partey. I thought was excellent. I thought he had a really good game. There was a couple of times where he's defensive, but he was overall he was. I thought he was excellent. Breaking the ball up in, passing it out. He did well for got a sort of. He won the ball for the goal. He got his goal. Very very good from Thomas Partey. I give him a 7.
I saw a 5 rating on Partey. Yeah, it said a mixed display where it's glaring error. We all know about the error, but then he contributed to the goal. But I thought a 5 was maybe a bit harsh, but still.
No. He was winning the ball. He was passing it off. He was playing the ball, forward. And it was a mistake. He did make a mistake.
But he scored the goal and then contributed quite a bit to, I think it was the second one. I think he got the ball out, then got it to the wing, and then it was crossed in.
But this is definitely. Yeah. But this was where I was saying about the mark, because I see Gabriel get an 8 and got told and said that he was better than Saliba. And I'm like, no, how can you possibly say? And then afterwards they were saying, but Saliba let 2 goals in. But I'll give Gabriel an 8 and Saliba a 7. And I'm like, you twisted it. It was Gabriel made the mistake. Saliba didn't put a foot wrong. And wasn't he, if you're going to say about him letting 2 goals, how many did Gabriel let in? Was he not there or something?
Yeah.
But you know how much I love Gabriel, but come on. He wasn't great yesterday. Yeah. So crazy.
Oh, forgot Zinchenko.
Yeah, I give Zinchenko a 7, mainly for his second half performance and his passion, and he's rolling up the crowd, and I mean he's a leader on that pitch. He's really it's so important, the job he plays in that role where he comes forward and he drops into that midfield and he works the ball out to whoever's playing out on the left-hand side, and he's playing balls through. And I think he was the one that played the ball through to, I think it might have been Nelson, quite a few times when he come on. I thought them two worked really well together, which is great. So yeah, I give him a 7.
Fabio Vieira.
Yeah, now with Vieira, I've seen he was all right. He wasn't. Didn't think he was great. I wanted to see more from him. Yeah, he worked hard. He was solid. He played the ball. I didn't see enough for him in the areas of pushing forward. I wanted to see a little bit more offensively from him. I didn't really see that from him. And again, I think Xhaka gives you more sometimes in certain games. I wanted to see more. I know he's capable of it. But yeah, a lot of people giving again 8s and stuffs, but he wasn't not for me anyway. So, but he was just solid. I'm not putting him down at all. He had a decent game and he worked really hard. I'm going to give him a 6. just because I needed to see more offensively with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you don't get on the sort of physical side of his, you do need to see something on more on the offensive side, whether it's assist or some goals or even just opportunities. I'd say in other games he's probably more in positions where he's in a goal scoring opportunity, where he gets goal scoring opportunities than he was yesterday. But yeah, Trossard, he was only on for a short amount of time.
Yeah,
22 minutes.
But I thought he was really good. Well, when he was on, I was well gutted that he went off. He looked dangerous. He looked quick. He looked sharp. Trying to do his thing. You know, I felt that when he got the ball, I sort of got up and set forward because I thought what's going to happen here. Very busy, and I just hope his injury is not that bad because and it's not too long. A bit worrying because he did go straight down the tunnel. When he went off, and Arteta looked a bit worried in his press conference after the game about him. So let's hope it's not too serious. But look, for the time he was on, I was impressed. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Might as well do the straight swap with him. Who it was? It was Emil Smith-Rowe who came on for him.
Yeah, now a lot of people said he didn't do it, and he never really got involved with the game, and possibly they may have took him off because of it. I totally disagree with everything that everybody else has been saying.
The thing is, he played until the 69th minute, so he got properly what he would have played if he would have started anyway. Because remember, he's come back from an injury. Like he's been out for most of the season. So I didn't understand that. People were trying to say he come on as a sub and got off as a sub. That doesn't look good. No, but he came off. He came on in the 22nd minute and came off on the 70th minute. Like what?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, when he come on, we've not seen Emil for a long while. So the first thing you do as an Arsenal fan, your eyes are on him, aren't they? Aren't you? Mm-hmm. First of all, I thought he looked very fit. Thought he looked very lean. I thought he was moving well. He looked confident on the ball. I thought he was pinging it off well. I thought when he was pinging it off, he was looking for the second ball. Yeah. So I'm looking at all these things. I'm thinking, I'm liking this. Before, when you got the ball, you're a little bit nervous about him, thinking, "Oh, come on, Emil, make sure that you make the right part because I want to see you back to yourself again." But no, he looked up for it. He looked good. He looked fit. He started to tie. I'll give him that. And look, come on, what an assist! It hasn't been said. It hasn't been said. What an assist that he's done! The way he's directed that into the path of Thomas Partey was class, absolute class. And he hasn't got enough plaudits, I don't think. I've seen 5s and 6, and he should have called off for that. Absolute rubbish for me. I couldn't disagree more with everything that a lot of people have been saying. For me, he gets a 7 all day long. It was excellent. I'm really pleased to see him back, and I thought he had a good game.
I'm happy to see him back as well, and he is like a Trossard. So it's good that we've got so many options now in those forward positions because Trossard can play anywhere along that front line. We know that Emil Smith-Rowe can do exactly the same thing. So it's really good. I feel like we've got a different type of 2 types of winger attacking forward player. It's not even wing, it's just a forward player in Emil Smith-Rowe and Trossard is very similar. I still think there's room for another pacey winger, definitely at least on that right, even with Reece Nelson coming in, because I think we need to be challenging on 4 fronts next season, and there's no reason why these fringe players or youth players or young players don't take the Carabao Cup as their own and say we're going to win this cup. This can be our one, and really try and fight to win that one as that team, as a whole team together. But do you know what I mean? Like that second string team needs to be getting together and say, look, we need to be pushing for the first team, but we can win this cup. Let's take this seriously.
If when you look at Emil Smith Rowe, you know he can play in a number of positions, isn't he? He's a very versatile player. But I don't know about you, but I still look at him as someone who could take over Odegaard's place and play in that number 10.
Yeah,
that's why I'd like to see him.
I think he is, but his best position was on that left. However, I always saw him as a number 10 because I think he needs to have. I think he could have that. I think he could have more of an impact if he has a freedom from
goals.
being able to go anywhere where he wants. But I think maybe there was just a bit more of a comfort in having the left wing because at least you've got a side. At least you're not going to get lost in the game. You always know if you find yourself getting a bit out of the game, you can always just hang out wide and that's your actual position. Whereas if you're in that number 10, you've got to be pulling strings. And if you're not, you could get a bit lost. It'd be interesting to see what he does going forward. Look, it's good things. It's only good things. Martin Odegaard, speaking of.
Yeah, look, I mean, again, a very similar similar to Vieira for me again. You know, busy, solid. You know, worked hard, but just not enough. I want to see more from him in the offensive thing. I think he sort of didn't give us too much in that area again. I just want to see a little bit more. He was good last week against Everton, but he was still dangerous, especially in the second half, especially in the last 20 minutes. I'm going to give him the 7 as well. And he was unlucky with a shot as well. It was a good shot. It was a good save from Neto.
Oh, it's a good save from the defender with his arm as well. That weren't bad. Pushed it onto the post. Love to see that. Yeah. Love to see that. Martinelli.
Quiet, very quiet, a little bit off it again, you know, but I'll take 1 in 5 out of Martinelli. It's very... Yeah, I give him a 6, mate. He didn't get involved. He was again one of them games where you want to see, you know, Martinelli get some shots in, cause the defenders problems. I didn't think he did. So yeah, just a very average performance from Martin. I thought we could see more from Smith Rowe and and Trossard, than Martinelli yesterday. So yeah, 6.
Saka.
Not far different, to be honest with you. Very, the wings were they were doubling up on both of them, and yeah, very, very quiet. Again, not much to sort of speak of from him. But we'll give him one of those sort of games every now and then. Maybe give him a rest. Hopefully, we can give him a rest in the week. If like Nketiah is back and we can play Nilsson or something. So yeah, again, I'll give him a 6. Thought he should have scored. I thought he should have scored in the first half. 1-on-1 with the keeper. It was a bit of a tight angle, but yeah, 6.
Ben White coming as a sub, 46 minute.
Yeah, you got to love him, haven't you? Oh, Ben White, what an impact! To the come on, totally different from Tomiyasu, getting forward, solid, passing's perfect, getting down the channels. Saka, works much better with Saka. I mean, who would have thought that? We used to say at the beginning of the season, "Oh, Ben White can do this, Ben White can do that," but Tomiyasu is a little bit better at doing this. I don't know if he is anymore. I think he's definitely made that right back his own, and he's the starter for me all the time. I thought he was excellent. He come on, got his goal, loved what he went when he went up to Neto and went up to his face. That was beautiful.
Because he got punched to the back of the head, didn't he?
Yeah, fantastic.
Let's just take a little look at that. Ben White at Neto in his face. That is a picture that says it all.
Yeah.
We'll go over that in a second.
Yeah. I'll give him an 8, mate, for that. It was an excellent. It was brilliant. For second half. I mean, it was a great. If we're going to give 7s to people like Trossard for his impact, what Ben White's impact was even bigger. So yeah, give him an 8.
Reece Nelson.
You know what it is? It's got to be a 10, mate. Let's give Reece a 10. Big up to the man. Probably, I can't remember too many substitutes performances like that. He came on and he was unreal.
Yeah.
He was unreal. Mate, I didn't know he had that in him. I mean, he's been at the club a long while now, and I've seen him a lot of times, and I really, really never knew he had what he did yesterday in his locker. To come on off the bench, and Arteta must have said, just go on and just do something, win us the game, just do something, whatever words he put to him. He's gone out there, grabbed it by its balls, and just absolutely took it.
Yeah, that cross for Ben White's goal.
The cross,
that little drop of the shoulder, get down the wing. It was just powerful, pacey, everything, skillful.
He was doing that before then as well.
Yeah,
he was doing that. He was jinking and jiving. He was getting past people, just looked confident, and they couldn't handle him. And then the goal. I mean, that was like a 10 out of 10 on its own. I mean, the strike with his wrong foot, incredible strike, but the actual touch, the way he pulled it down with his right, moved it onto his left, and then absolutely just buried it. And the goalkeeper, I mean, it was just beautiful. The amount of times I've watched that, since yesterday, he's just hundreds of times probably. I just loved it. And
the celebrations. Saliba's going mental, doesn't even know where to run. Reece Nelson's the calmest of the lot, putting his hand out, giving it the old calm down. Ben White's in his face. Odegaard's on the floor over there. Yeah. Who's on his knees over there? I think I can't remember who that is. It's on his knees. I think that might even be Jack, and it's on his knees. Just don't know what to do. And then obviously all the Bournemouth players just like dejected. Yeah. What
made me laugh the most? No, made me laugh the most. Jorginho. Jorginho's come out from literally when the ball hit the net. It was like in that split second, you just see Jorginho come on with his tracksuit and his yellow tracksuit top on, just running like a madman.
Yeah. Like, you see, it was carnage. The little kid turned up. Mick Arteta gives a little kid a high five. He's like, "What's this kid doing here?"
But yeah, I love Jorginho. That was absolute quality. If you ain't seen that, unreal. The way he just went crazy. His first person on the pitch. You would have thought he was the fastest player at Arsenal, by the way. He ran over to him. But, brilliant. Yeah, you can't. It was a fantastic performance by him. I never knew he had that in his locker. I mean, if he can bring that into to the end of the season and beyond, wow. He's 23 years old. Just another A-Lane boy, mate. I mean, A-Lane boy, Nelson and Ketty there. Saka. Incredible work that the boys are doing there in the academy. Yeah, we've got Charlie Patino coming through. Just endless Balogun. Unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. Really exciting time for Arsenal Football Club, what they're doing. And they need to give them some credit, these young boys now. Keep hearing still things. Oh, what's going to happen? Let's see what happens in the last 5 games. Get out of here. Get out of here. I've never seen so much, so quiet. It was absolutely deafening yesterday, with people. And even the people who like the pundits who, have been having a go are just sort of like now wilting, and going, And I can just imagine Man United fans and Man City fans. Can you at 2-0 and then at 2-1 and then at 2. And when that third one went in, you can just imagine they've done it again.
Done it again.
Yeah. Never mind.
And we will keep on doing it again.
Yeah. Great, mate. Great stuff.
Mikel Arteta.
Well, look, as I said a little while ago, I thought we got the team wrong. Maybe could have started Xhaka looking at it in the end. But, maybe we could have started Ben White, which is definitely started Ben White. I don't think there was any doubt about that. But, look, he changed it. He brought on Emil Smith-Rowe as a sub for Trossard. That was a great move. Turned out to be a brilliant move. He got his assist. Then he brought on Ben White, got his goal because Tomiyasu wasn't performing, and Ben White come on and made an instant impact and was brilliant. And need we say more? We've already said it about what Reece Nelson coming on and what he did. Mm-hmm. So, 9 out of 10 for Mikel Arteta. Brilliant manager. Absolutely incredible manager. And we're lucky to have him.
9 for Arteta. All right. So, what about the fans? Let's give the fans a rating, Steve. Home and in the stadium.
Well, look, even at 2-0, when we was 2-0 down, they were still singing and cheering on the players and Mikel Arteta and come on you Arsenal, and they never stopped all the way through. That is an absolute fortress now. The fans were great. And, I was even taking a little in-depth look at, the Ashburton Army, and what they're bringing to the Emirates now. And that's unbelievable. That is the black people in the suits and all that and the jackets. What they're bringing to the club is unreal. The drums, just all you kept hearing was the continuous support. And when Partey got his equaliser, it just got louder and louder. And then at the end, just euphoria. If I was there, I just would not have wanted to come out the stadium. Probably would have stayed in there for the next 2 hours. And I'm unreal, mate. They got to get a 10 out of 10, the fans.
Yeah. 100%. All right. We will be discussing this in a lot more detail on Tuesday. Don't worry about that. Make sure you come and join us tomorrow, though. We've got the kickoff of the Super 6 podcast on Monday at 8:00. We'll have other rival fans. So get in the comment section, banter the hell out of them. All right, I want to hear everyone in the comment section ripping them to shreds. Man United fans, Liverpool fans especially, give it to them, all right? So make sure you're in here tomorrow for the Super 6 podcast. And join us on Tuesday for the Arsenal show. We'll be discussing everything, and we will be discussing Reece Nelson's contract talks, hopefully, in a lot more detail. All right. Any final thoughts before you go, Steve?
No, mate. I'm just going to sit down and enjoy the football this afternoon now, and not really bothered about the result. To be fair, look, we did our job. It was an incredible performance. We've already said it. Look, this is what champions are made of. Coming from 2-0 behind, we've seen it many a times from teams in the past, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, even Arsenal, when we've won titles. This is what champions do. We just need to keep it going. We need to sort of not cut out some of the mistakes. We have to be switched on from the first minute. And it would be nice to give my heart a rest, so that we don't have to keep coming from behind all the time and scoring in the last minute. But at the moment, it's fantastic being an Arsenal fan. We're 5 points clear. We're the best team in the league by a country mile. Let's hope we can just keep it up, mate. So, we've not won it yet. Still a little way to go. But the games are running out thick and fast. And we've got some really favourable fixtures coming up in the next few weeks. We've got Fulham, we've got Leeds, and we've got Crystal Palace.
All right. Thank you for everyone who's joined us on today's show. As many rival fans have said, as you could see by the key decisions that Arsenal didn't get yesterday, that the Premier League and the Referees Association are clearly rigging the league for Arsenal to win. So obviously that's true. But I love that you hate Mikel Arteta. I love that you hate that. I love that you think that Arsenal, that the league's being rigged. I love that you hate that Arsenal fans are so happy. I get so much joy from that. So on that note, peace out, people. Stay safe.
We don't care.
We don't care. Peace out.